Looking for a relaxing, amusing, tropical getaway, Star Trek style? Well, put up your feet and relax, because we might just be setting course for Star Trek Riser. Well, hey everyone, I'm Nick and welcome back to Sci-Fanatics. Well, today I thought I'd talk about the new Star Trek comedy that's being helmed by Tawny Newsome and Justin Simien. Now, you might be aware that I'm wearing a Riser t-shirt and a Hawaiian shirt. Well, that's no coincidence. I'm pretty sure from what's been said publicly, we're going to be getting maybe a Star Trek series set on the resort planet of Riser. This new live-action comedy has been kind of described as a sort of a Star Trek meets Parks and Recreation, which is a great comedy series with a really good ensemble cast and everything. Really funny show, and it's kind of a bit in the same sort of style as that, or something say like The Office. And the show's already being referred to as not so much Parks and Rec, but Parks and Trek. Now, initially, Tawny Newsome came out with some hints about the new series, which kind of led me to believe that it might be taking place on, say, a starbase, some kind of show that I initially thought might be like a Starbase 80 kind of scenario that had been established on Lower Decks, because she said that the show took place with people on a thing. So I thought, well, on a thing kind of sounds like a starship or a starbase or something. Whereas I thought if it was like a colony planet or resort planet, you wouldn't say a hotel resort on Riser would be on a thing. That would be at a thing. So there was a little bit of a mislead there. But it seems like they've come out to say that this new comedy series is about Federation outsiders serving a gleaming resort planet and find out that their day-to-day exploits are being broadcast to the entire quadrant. Now, this kind of seems like it might be a little bit of almost like a reality TV show kind of vibe, where we've got their activities on, let's just say Riser for now, because it sounds like it could well be Riser, and they're doing stuff and there's things going on, and then maybe somehow that gets broadcast via the, Federation News Network or something across the galaxy, and then ends up becoming some sort of reality TV show. So I wonder whether it's going to be kind of a bit like, say, Modern Family, where we had the style of that comedy series Modern Family often had the subjects sitting on the couch doing pieces to camera, like it was essentially like a reality TV show where they would talk about what their day involved and all that sort of thing, and sort of do these little asides, very much like a reality TV program. If their activities on a resort at Riser are going to be broadcast, then it kind of seems like the cast is going to be a little bit self-aware of them being publicly on display. When I hear about this gleaming resort planet and kind of, stuff going on there, it does remind me a lot of the Mike White helmed TV show, The White Lotus. Absolutely loved, particularly the first season of that show. I think the Aussie actor Murray Bartlett, who played the manager of that resort, was absolutely hilarious, and was almost like a bit of a Basil Fawlty kind of character, from Fawlty Towers, that classic British comedy series, and just the hijinks and stuff that went on there. I can totally see a character like this that's sort of like a Federation outsider that's, maybe been demoted or something, and now he's running some resort on Riser, and he's, and just sort of weird hijinks that go on at this resort. I can totally see that as a viable concept. We know that the show is going to be standalone episodes. I think that's going to work best for this kind of comedy series, where the quirky situation of the week or whatever, who's visiting the resort this week, what starship is on vacation or on shore leave, and what they're doing. So I guess in that respect, it's going to be a little bit more like Deep Space Nine in terms of it being a fixed location, and then adventures will come to it. So I guess it's going to be a little bit like that sort of formatted show. One week you can have, a certain Federation starship or whatever visiting and their crew. Next week you could have, some Vulcans visiting, or some Klingons visiting, or something, for that sort of thing. Mix it up a little bit, keep it interesting, and have very different aliens from across the Alpha Quadrant are calling into this resort for a little bit of shore leave. Now, it hasn't been confirmed that that it is Risa, but let's face it, there aren't too many resort planets that they've established in Star Trek, and I'd be very surprised if it didn't end up being Risa. But we also know it's going to be taking place in the 25th century, which is I think great news. The fact that we're continuing stories in that post-Star Trek Picard era. We've got so many shows on Star Trek-wise at the moment that are set either in the way distant future with Academy in the 32nd century or way in the past with Strange New Worlds in the pre-TOS era. So I think we definitely need a show, particularly now that Lower Decks is finishing, that sets ourselves up in that TNG, DS9, Voyager kind of, post-Star Trek Picard era. Seeing as how Noel Wells and Eugene Cordero missed out on being part of the live-action experience that was those old scientists in Strange New Worlds, it would actually be a good opportunity in this live-action comedy to bring all of the Lower Decks cast into live-action for an episode. That'd be fun. Knowing the kind of quirky episodes that have been set on Risa in the past, we've obviously had episodes, like Captain's Holiday in TNG, Let He Who Is Without Sin in Deep Space Nine, 2 Days and 2 Nights in Enterprise, and others. We've definitely well and truly covered Risa on multiple series of Star Trek, and I think it's an interesting location. There've always been some interesting adventures that take place there, and there's something also about, I think, watching a show that takes place on a tropical island resort that kind of feels like you're having a little bit of a getaway yourself. I think this could well be a nice sort of breath of fresh air for the Star Trek franchise. But let me know what you guys think. Leave a thought in the comments section, and let me know your thoughts on this latest Star Trek live-action comedy series. Let's just call it Star Trek Risa for now, because that's, probably quite likely. And let me know your thoughts on this upcoming new series. Guys, if you haven't subscribed to Sci-Phonax yet, please do so. It really helps the channel out. The old subs have I think as the channel gets a little bit older or whatever, people become a bit complacent and just watch the videos without clicking that big subscribe button. But I can't tell you enough how much it really does help the channel a huge amount by clicking that subscribe button, just in terms of waking up the algorithm and letting people know that, hey, my content is decent content worth watching. So yeah, please click on that subscribe button. And also, another way to support the channel is to check out some of my cool t-shirts, much like this one, the Risa t-shirt that I made, which promotes a bit of a holiday vibe. Pick yourself up a cool t-shirt or a hoodie or a mug or a cap or something like that. And that also really helps support the channel as well. And there's always heaps of bargains going on, sales and discounts. There might be even one coming up pretty soon for you to take advantage of. And as always, I'll be back very soon with my next video. I'll catch you guys soon.